Hello, EGS users. This next feature we're really excited about. In addition to the keyword feature we had in the last video, this one is something we're calling custom fields. And let me jump right in to show you what it does. So if we go add a new grievance, and we will just do this is our training system. So nothing changes at your step one. This is what we call the detail screen or your step one screen. But the only thing that's going to look different once we set up some custom fields for you is if you scroll all the way down to the bottom under management response, you will notice there are new fields here. Now, on your system right now, they may not be there because you haven't submitted any to be put in. Other than keywords, you will see that one. That is one of your 5 that is static. So that one's already on all the systems. But let's expand on that keyword a little further. So what you can do at the administrative level of your local, if you are an administrator, president, administrator, you can send us a request through a support form on the apwegs.com website. And you can ask us to put in a custom field for you, and it will look like this. Now, you are not limited to what you call the field. You don't have to call it one of these. These are just examples. You can call it anything you want. The only limitation you have is what type of field you want it to be. So it can be any one of these 5 types. And all of your fields, frankly, can be the same thing. If you want them all to be drop downs, they can. So let's define that a little further. We had Fort Worth area local, and we want to thank them. They actually asked us when we were implementing this over the weekend, they were working with us a little bit, and they asked us to put in one called important. And they said really they need something that they can make a check mark next to all of their important cases or highly important cases. So they defined it as important or highly important or however they wanted to define the field. And this allows them whenever they're creating a grievance to go down and click it as important if it is important. And we thought that was a really good idea, so we wanted to put that as an example in this video. The other thing that users can do, meaning that users your local can do, and this is going to be local wide. So each local may look a little different, and that's okay. You can set up a drop-down field. This is an example of one called issue. Again, you don't have to call it issue. You could set up a drop-down field, but let's say this is an issue field and this has something to do with overtime. So you could identify that. Your users, when they're creating the grievance, this is just allowing you to create more fields that you can make searchable, okay? It does not change your PDF. It doesn't change your moving papers. This doesn't even put any of these data onto the PDF forms, and you don't want it to. This is really just an expansion of your system to make it more searchable and to make reporting a little bit more easy based on what you're constantly looking for. All right, look at it like that. And you could even do a date field like this one. We called it issue date. You could call a date field whatever you want. You may or may not ever use a date field, but if you did, you could call it what you want and just create a date field and make that searchable. And then the other one, the very last kind, is something we call large text box. This one is a little bit different because it is not searchable. So keep in mind that if you do want to create a large text box, it really will be more for taking notes or writing additional details about the case that will not show up anywhere on the PDF, and you can't search by it, but it is a great tool to have right here on this step 1 form if you need to add additional case notes and you don't have to call it notes, you can call it anything you want. So when you get with your users and you get with your team at your local, kind of be thinking and talking about what you would like some of these fields to be. If you even want to use this feature, send us the request. And again, you don't have to do this all at once. You can do this over time. And send us a request for one, and we'll set it up for you. So again, it can be either a check mark, like this one called important. It can be a drop-down menu, and you can call it anything you want. When you do send us a drop-down menu option, though, make sure you include in that support request what all you want in this drop-down menu. Otherwise, we're just going to create an empty drop-down menu for you. So You'll want to send us the title of the field and all the details you want in the dropdown, and we can build it for you. And then, of course, you could do a date, a large text area, or a small text area. And also tell us if you want it searchable. The only one that can't be searchable is a large text area. All the other options can be searchable. So let's look at that next. If you go over here to search, let me leave this and go to search. So right here on search, we made those searchable, the ones that could be, and obviously keywords is already searchable, so you know how that works from the previous video. But the other expansion upon that is that you can say, you know what, I want to search all the important cases and hit find. And sure enough, down here, there's 4 cases here that were tagged as important, and you can even scroll over here to the right and see that new custom field called important. And yes, it identifies all those because it was checkmarked. So that's an example. If you want to see all the important cases that were overtime related because you identified the overtime issues, you could hit find, and then it will give you all the yes importance for your overtime cases. So that's just an example of how you can start drilling down your searches based on your custom fields. So please do send us any custom fields you want and want to try out. And again, if you don't like one of them, once you try it out, we can remove it. So that's not a big deal at all. Just let us know, and we can definitely take it out for you if you no longer wish to have it. But yeah, so all of these are searchable. We can make them searchable, and then of course, once you run the report, you can export that to Excel just like you're always able to do, or you can just select the grievance you want to work on and continue working on that. If a grievance no longer is important, you can go uncheck the important box. So we're using the important as a common example, but you can see here that this is pretty much going to be built around the way your local does business and wants to run your grievance process. And it is, the idea behind it is just an expansion of the keyword tool that that allows you to set up your own custom internal fields to search by, hopefully with the end goal of making your reporting process a little bit cleaner. We thank you guys so much. You just go over to apwegs.com and send us a support ticket with a request for one of your custom fields and give it a shot. Thank you.